like that in Louisiana, but I know it is here.
Rheumatoid arthritis.
She probably thinks she can get away with it here.
Like that.
I never get between.
All right, you guys ready?
She's in the nursing home like 2 years.
I'll still steer clear.
I guess you have it turned on now, Jeremy. All right, we'd like to call this meeting to order, November 10th, 2025, Historic Preservation Commission meeting. We have, looks like 5 applicants today, so we're gonna try to move this along. We will start this meeting, as every meeting with Bay St. Louis, with a prayer and a pledge of allegiance. Patty, I'm gonna ask you to lead us. In the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Our Father,
Who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the, you know that part.
Well,
For thine is the power.
for thine is the kingdom, the power, and the
glory,
glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
God bless the United States Marine Corps.
Bless the Lord.
Bless the Marine Corps. And I would ask that we keep Reverend Jeffrey Reed in our prayers. I learned recently that he has some serious health issues. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And any of you other veterans out here, at least 2 of us up here are Marine Corps veterans, and today is the Marine Corps birthday, 250 years.
I'm
So
the mother of Marine Corps veteran.
there you go. Somebody sent that out, and I said, I celebrated the 200th birthday. I was in Okinawa, so
And Iraq Marine Corps.
Yep.
there you go. All right, today the first application is for Mr. Edward Toomey at 121 State Street. Mr. Toomey, you forward first, but the applications across the board this month are not, in my opinion, not complete. Some of the things that are required, did you fill this out? Did you read the requirements? Photos of existing improvements. The only thing I got is a Google Earth photograph of your house. Not exactly what I would consider appropriate.
What do you mean existing? Not sure what you're asking.
The requirements,
He's just
yeah,
replacing his windows.
right.
Showing you which ones he's doing. That's the only he's doing.
All right, you have 6 over 6 windows.
Yeah, that's the ones that have been there for about
Yes. And then you also, say you want to replace those with 1 over 1. Why do you not want to go back with 6 over 6?
It's just too much maintenance. I just think, look, just as well with that, I went around and looked in some different streets up there in the historic district. And I see there's quite a few that have the 1 over 1s. About a list here of like 8 to 10 that have it, so I just couldn't go with 1 over 1.
Okay, well, because you can get, they're basically 1 over 1s, and they put the exterior mullions on it. That's all it amounts to. But it gives them the appearance of that 6 over 6. If
I mean,
you
I
would,
can do that if you want me to.
I would, that has or you can go at 4 over 4, just the way it, the traditional windows are all the old wooden windows like you have. And I can tell you, we're gonna approve replacing the windows, but the traditional, historically correct windows were all like what you've got. The little windows, panes and all that. Well, we're not gonna require you to put wooden windows back in. You can put in vinyl windows. But to have even a 4 over 4, which would just be 1 crossbar, and it is mullions or what, exterior?
Mullions, yeah.
Mullions.
Exterior, there's true simulated divided light.
Yes,
they're
if you would
applied
do that, I mean, that way it still holds that more correct historic appearance.
Yeah.
So is that just like up the plastic that sticks up in the wax?
Yes.
Well,
That's what it's up to.
they are actually, but they,
Okay, I can do that.
Just strip it.
No, that'd be wonderful. Thank you very much, sir.
yeah.
And then the 8.5 hardy board, what, you're not, is that gonna be 8.5 reveal, or is that gonna be 8.5 board with
It's
5-inch
1/2
reveal?
board with probably, I don't know, I think it must take about a 1/2 inch that's covered. It's the same as the house next door that was just redone, that 119 next door.
Okay, I wish you had said that in your application, that way I had something to look at, because,
Okay, sorry.
8.5 inch, because they do make stuff 12-inch and 8.5 reveal, which,
No, this 8.5 inch is probably gonna have just enough.
what do you do, an inch and a quarter, inch and a half, so it's a 7-inch reveal typically?
Something like that, but you got the,
Do you understand what I mean when I say 7-inch
How
reveal?
much you want showing, yeah. And we want it to be the wider plank, just like the house next door.
Yeah,
It's
now,
not gonna
you
be
don't,
much cover.
yeah, see, that's where the photographs come in.
Okay.
Makes it a lot easier for us to know what we're approving. Okay, so I'm gonna take my notes here, and then, I'm gonna open this for discussion with the commissioners.
The party board and the divided lights, I think it'd be fine. Otherwise, up in there. With those, on that little house, though, you don't know what the reveal on the house next door, I looked at it too.
It's pretty much, it can't be more than like enough to cover, I don't know.
No,
how
it-
long
it's-
they put up
The
screws and
reveal
nails.
is what you see.
It's
below
pretty
the
big,
head
yeah.
lamp is
It's
what's
pretty
over the
big.
top.
It's
And,
not narrow. That's why we wanted to go with the wider, because that's on the house next door.
Okay,
yeah, with those two exceptions, I propose to accept it as presented.
okay, so we have the exceptions being that the hardy board will be an approximate 7-inch reveal, which is what I think it's 7-inch reveal and 5.5 inch, I think are the two,
right,
tend to be standard.
right.
And I'm just gonna make a note, similar to the, house, adjacent house.
119 State Street.
And you're agreeable to make the windows have that
Sure.
just one divider, so it looks like 4 panes even till you get close, but it's all one.
Yeah.
Like we say, we try to do it for you. We don't do it for, yeah. This is for like the
mean-
property value and stuff.
If you're building a new house and you came with 1/1 windows, that'd be perfectly fine. Okay?
Yeah, we just built a new house 6 years ago, 300 block of mile.
Yes.
1/1, and probably we approved them.
You did.
That's right. However, when you got a house that's existing and has a look of divided lights, and you're replacing all the windows, correct? You want to maintain the look of the house. I mean, it really is, it's what we're trying to do, is preserve what you have, just,
Fair.
and,
Okay,
Okay.
I have a motion by Mr.
Snaps in that on the outside,
well, they don't, some of them just apply directly to it, and they come that way, you can buy them that way.
I mean, I don't think it's
You can do
not
it
much
inside and
cost
then you
No,
put it on the
there is,
outside.
sometimes
No,
it's
you
no
put it on the
cost.
outside, you don't even put it on the inside.
Sometimes they don't.
Sometimes the ones with
You
the
can
lights
do,
built
you can
into the
buy
window.
that.
Yeah, I didn't want to have to.
No,
The
No, no.
exterior.
no. They're
Just have to
completely,
go on the outside, that's fine.
Exterior,
Yes.
not
Right.
in, because in those double glazed windows, they do make them with the mullions inside between the two pieces of glass.
Yeah, that's how our house was.
And that, they're not
Yeah.
allowed, they're
It's
not
a lot
allowed.
more expensive when you gotta replace pipe.
Right, but we want to raise.
Right.
yeah, it's actually stick on, makes it look like a real old-fashioned wooden window. All right, we have a motion by Mr. Dave Wessinger to accept with the conditions that the hardy board will be approximately 7-inch reveal, which will be similar to the adjacent house at 119 State Street, and that the owner has agreed to do a simulated divided light of 4/4 window. I need a second.
Or 6/06.
I second.
6/06 if you want.
6/06
John
looks better.
second.
The house looks really good the way it is, I mean, with that window configuration. And I think that the 6/06 will be more sturdy than the 4, because with the 4, you've got longer lengths. That 6/06, what you just got there, it would be sturdier when you put it on there, because they will be subject to, those things do blow some in the wind.
Okay, I have a with discussion, motion by Dave, I have a second by Patty. I'd like to vote the motion. Oh,
John seconded.
John seconded?
No, it's all right, no.
I'm sorry.
Aye.
I would like to vote the motion.
Aye.
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 Pass
Thank you.
5-0. Thank you, sir.
All right, so do I just go to the building department in the next few days to get the permit started?
Yeah, just go on, submit it online.
Okay, I would, on the
Yeah,
new
submit
system,
online today.
that new system, okay, all right, thanks.
Thank you, sir. All right, the second, application we have this morning, is from OLG to be presented by Mr. Bill Hand. Bill and I have had a short discussion before the meeting, so he already knows, what I'm gonna tell him, you know, and the one thing that, you know, and I asked him that same question, did you read this application, did you read the requirements? And, have all the commissioners had a chance to read what their proposal is? I'm gonna ask Bill to tell us what their game plan is. I'm gonna just say it right now that I'm gonna make a motion that we do this as a conceptual review until we get all the appropriate documentation, because there's really an incomplete package right now.
But aren't they just, and before you say, aren't y'all just gonna demo it? I mean, correct?
Yeah, but that,
But,
let me,
no, this was my question before, because I briefly mentioned Mr. Haynes, because it came in like last week. Y'all need the structural report, but if the structural report says that it's fine, then we'll be back where
let me.
we're at right now, so, and it needs to
No,
come.
no.
Let me go ahead and read this. For demolition, consideration is given to the individual architectural, cultural, and/or historic significance of the resource, the importance of contribution of the resource to the architectural character of the district and to the neighboring property values. I'm gonna finish reading this before we get to discuss that. Items needed: photographs of existing building, site plan to scale, condition reports, foundation plan of replacement and/or documentation of justification. So what we will need is what y'all gonna do with it and some documentation to state that. What we don't have is any photographs. We have nothing that, if we said, yeah, we approved it, and somebody looked at this and said, well, what did y'all approve?
We haven't proved anything.
We got nothing.
Well, wouldn't it be for an instance like this, wouldn't it be like a fundraising? I mean, in other words, since it's a nonprofit, right? So the
Yeah.
school's a nonprofit, so it's all.
Yeah.
I mean,
But we wanna be
but
consistent
that's-
in how we do
I know
things.
it's consistency, but that's like for homes and things like that, that would be different than.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, but we have to have a precedent for what.
We have a precedent.
All right, let's go ahead and open this discussion. Bill,
Can I ask Bill a question? Do y'all have, is there any discussions with an architect or any building designs or anything that you plan to
There
put
is,
there yet? That's probably
that
too
is so
preliminary.
far down the road. It's
Very
probably
far
a
down
3 to
the road.
5 year
Yeah.
Fundraising thing.
down the
Oh.
road, fundraising, but I can go into exactly what the plan is, for what needs to be built.
that's what I would,
Is it possible to get a rendering done? And I'm not talking like a full-on architectural plan, I'm just saying a rendering that could be modified and changed as the time comes, because this is gonna set a precedent for future demo. And we kinda already have the precedent set with St. Stanislaus, but those buildings
Yeah.
were literally about to fall down.
well,
Uh,
yes.
So.
I would like to let Bill present what they're gonna do.
Okay.
We understand, they were literally gonna fall down, but we had a structural engineer's report to, ensure that, we weren't just letting someone demolish it, you know.
Like I said, I'd like to let Bill present, and then, yes, there is some discussion here for certain, particularly when we read the first part of that paragraph, the architectural, cultural, and historic significance of that particular building. Because that one is not nearly along the same lines as Stanislaus Gym.
No.
Yeah.
And if y'all remember, Stanislaus Gyms, even though we approved it because of the structural thing, we did require them to go to the city council
Right.
and publicly announce to the citizens of Bay St. Louis that they were gonna demo it, because it was such a flap, let me just put it that way.
Yeah.
So, Bill, if you would, we'll try not to interrupt you. Please
Okay.
tell us what the game plan is.
All right, so this is the property located on 299 South Second Street, which historically, that was a McDonald lumber mill back, I don't know how many decades or years. Recently, it's been the Nilet little art, they were planning to turn it into like an art co-op at one point in time. The church has purchased that property. The plan is to have that building removed. First of all, we have to deal with the asbestos. So it has asbestos siding on it. I've got a report that we've already filed with the state. We've already hired an environmental engineering company to come in and remove the panels. That is prior to demolition of the building. And so the plan is to demolish the building, grade the property, turn part of that property into some additional parking space for the school, and then have some green space that we're looking for more green space. Long range, the goal is to build a structure that could be like a half gym, auditorium tied into the Holy Trinity Catholic School, reroute the road through the church property to go along the railroad track so that it becomes a drop-off zone for kids going straight into that structure and gather for school.
Hey, can I ask where, does it go where the Crab Fest is, where the band is right there, that goes all that right there?
Yes, it's all behind.
All that to that tree and all that right there?
Right.
There's green space right there where the band was and stuff?
Correct.
That whole section there?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
I
Now,
didn't know
there
how
is
much
a-
it was.
There's a warehouse behind it.
There's a,
Isn't there a warehouse?
It's like a
that
tin
y'all
shed
use?
right
yeah, it's a
there.
tin shed. It was from my understanding, it was a McDonald lumber
Yeah.
shed
Right.
a long, long time ago.
And it
But
still
yeah.
looks like it in part of it, like the very part closest to Holy Trinity. It still looks like that old,
Yes.
with the open facing, wood.
So, what,
Got-
what you just said, Bill, I mean, I don't wanna interrupt you. Are you at a good stopping point for discussion?
Yes,
Okay, you said asbestos. I know you're in the oil and gas industry, petrochemical industry is, and I was in heavy industry, that we know the requirements, I'm gonna
Right.
put it politely.
Yeah.
That you get into when you do asbestos. What is your plan? Because we may need to do something to accommodate that plan even
Okay.
before we give you formal approval for the entire demolition.
all right, so we've already had an asbestos report done by Micro Methods. They've already generated the report, we know exactly how many square feet of this asbestos paneling that's on the side of the building. It's not on all the sides. There's one side that's all wood. There's asbestos panel that starts on the school ground side, or the drive-through side, and wraps around the back. Those panels are just basically being held on by a nail. They're nailed on. We've hired a company, Environmental Services, out of Hattiesburg, who is going to come in, and they've filed the report with the state already. State's already contacted me, and said that, they're aware that we made this, we filed the report. And so the plan is to, during either a weekend or during the Thanksgiving break, to have those panels removed by this company. So they'll do the full hazmat suit, keep the paneling wet, and properly dispose of them. And so that's step one, and then step two is ultimately to break the building down and break the property.
All right, well, I would ask that we address, because removing of asbestos is it's kinda like when they told us Stanislaus Gym, they had a steel reinforced tunnel for the kids to walk through. Asbestos is along the same lines as that, as far as your requirements. I'd like to have a separate motion to allow as removal as the asbestos, regardless of whether they take the building down or not. It's next to a school. I would ask one of you make a motion that we allow that to be,
I'll make a motion
remediated
that we allow the remediation of the asbestos in the building.
during a period when students are not present.
I second.
Okay, let me take these notes, guys, y'all bear with me.
He was trying to rent the rooms for $1,400 each.
Okay, we have a motion to allow the removal of the asbestos during a period when students are not in the vicinity. Motion by Ms. Pat Keating, second by Mr. John Bazoo. Any discussion? Like to vote the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so we are giving you approval to remove that. That's part of a demolition that is not fully approved, but, we can talk about that in a minute. Yes, now we'll open the discussion to other things.
So step one, we understand that. In the meantime, can the school or anyone associated with the future plan at least lay out a plan of what you all intended?
Oh, yeah, that,
That would be something we could see?
Yeah,
Just-
whether you can get an artist or an
No,
architect to go
I'm
ahead,
not asking
or
for that.
just a
The plot
description.
plan showing the removal and what you intend to do.
Yep.
You can remove the road,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, part of that road that's currently there that
Yeah,
ties into
you're gonna
Second
move it
Street,
towards the railroad
we would
track.
move it towards the railroad.
And your intent is to put a building adjacent to where the little walkway is when drop-off point is for kids now,
Correct.
right?
And there is a registered oak tree on that property. That will be
Of course, yeah. Yeah, it has to. But, I mean, the building's gone, you don't have an oak tree there anymore. but
Oh,
you
no,
got-
we
you
would
got-
still have an oak tree, even with the building.
On the property itself?
Yes.
Then
Yeah,
I'm
it's
seeing
right,
that.
yeah,
It's
right.
big.
it's out the
Okay,
southeast.
okay, I know where,
Yeah.
the back of the
Yeah.
property, okay. All right,
all right.
so
now-
just as long as you had, like, just the survey of the property or just a plot plan of property, future building, roadway.
Got it.
And that gives us an idea of what you're planning to do.
Okay.
And, then it'll make it simpler in the future.
All right, I think I want to phrase this. I'd like to discuss what we did, the consideration to individual architectural, cultural, historical significance. Does anyone looking at that feel that it provides any architectural, cultural, or historical significance? Though it may have some historic significance, the architectural, cultural is questionable, in my opinion.
Well, historically, it was a lumber yard. It's no longer a lumber yard. It was, it's no longer that usage. And, even the associated building is no longer a lumber yard. And, so it's never gonna be preserved as a lumber yard, let's put it that way.
Okay.
Don't expect it
Used to be
to,
a lumberyard.
And I
Um,
can, I've had this discussion with Mr. Dave Wessinger, and Dave is of the opinion that it's a historic building. Since it's in the historic district, by way the ordinance is written, it's considered a historic building. And I know that he is opposed to demolition of that building.
okay.
Really, Dave, really?
That's okay. That's why we got a 5-man crew, because we,
I'm good, no, I'm all.
we have,
There are many, many historic buildings that have been repurposed.
Okay.
Many,
That's true.
many. Residential, commercial, offices, monuments, whatever. That building is sound. I've been in it many times. And the soundness of the building has nothing to do with it. Now, the asbestos, you take that off, that's fine. But it is, the historic core of this city has been denigrated and destroyed. St. Stanislaus is one of the prime ones, and all that noise they made about how structurally unsound those buildings were, especially that gym was not. I looked at it and everything, it was not. And one by one, we give up these things. People buy them knowing full well that they are in the historic district, that they are old buildings in the historic district. You buy the building knowing full well that the law says that you're not supposed to tear down these old buildings. And then yet, first thing, right out the gate, here you are wanting to tear this thing down. Now, everybody's got their motives, ulterior and otherwise. And I understand where y'all are and what you want to do. This is a blight to you, and it's an eyesore. You want to put a road right there. And it'll just be one more piece of our historic culture, even though it may seem like it's not a big deal. Right up the street, the rest of the McDonald buildings.
Yeah.
They're still there.
Mhm.
They've been repurposed. Even the one that Kevin Jordan is doing. He's
Repurposed,
repurposing it, and it was in way worse shape than your building. So it's all well and good to have a parking lot. And as Joni Mitchell said, you paid paradise, put up a parking lot. And that's what we're doing here, time after time after time.
Is it your opinion that they should renovate the building into what they want?
Absolutely. Vicky
So
and I
just take
that
the
went in there and
asbestos
spent-
off and then take the building and leave the road where it is and put, and just like add on? Okay,
The building is there.
okay,
The road is not there.
Right.
okay.
We knew that the building was there. We knew that that building's been there a long time, probably since before that school. And it is historic building in the sense of age, and also McDonald's sold a lot of lumber out of that building. But regardless of that, somewhere along the line, you're either gonna stop tearing down the historic buildings in town, or you won't have any. And right now, we have so precious few. My property, I'm right across the railroad track from it. My house was built 1870, 1875, it's historic, it's zone commercial there. I could tear that thing down, I could push it through and tear it down and put something else there.
Put
Somewhere
more.
you have to have a line in the sand. Now, this is gonna go through, I have no doubt. Y'all gonna go in front of the city council, they're not gonna stand in your way, you're gonna tear it down. And then we're gonna be left with nothing but the memory and a few pictures of another historic building that's gone from this town. That's all.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah,
Because we do, it's not a one-person decision, and I've been at odds with the commission, and the commission voted to allow things that I didn't like, and
Mhm.
the commission, Matt, comments, discussion?
Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna suggest, since we do not have all the documentation, that we do at least conceptual review, that we would allow demolition once all the documentation is provided.
Just to add a note and tap on what Dave said. Repurposing is, is a good word. I mean, probably have a lot of good old timber in that building that's, salvageable. And if it's, someone has, any kind of sense of, architectural integrity, they may want to salvage some of those and incorporate that in the design of the future building. And that would be one way to approach it, that if you intend to repurpose, not necessarily same position, but let's say you've got 3x12 timbers in there that are perfectly fine, and you can find a way to create something with that. There are a lot of creative architects in town that love to work with old wood, so it's just an idea that that would be a plus for you all to come back. Demolition with some repurposing of the old building, if it can be done, and with a report. And like I said, the layout's the first thing. If you got someone like an architect in the community, which I'm sure you do, that can lay it out and come up with an idea that possibly some way to screening with the old timbers of the railroad, or something to do with the new road, an archway, trellis of some kind with the old timbers.
Like
You
the
know.
TV show where they take a barn and then make
Yeah,
it like.
exactly.
So
I'm
make
just-
half of the gym like with all the beams for the stage or something for the kids or something,
Yeah.
I don't know, you know?
Yeah. There's all kind of creative ways to look at it, and even if it's a partial repurposing, it would be nice to see something like that occur in that corner.
Maybe for the kids too.
I went to the school the first day it opened, the new school. I call that the new school. And quite frankly, I walked by that building so many times, I still don't even, I really never even noticed it as anything other than an old lumber yard. So I don't have it, anything, oh, it's gotta be redone. No. but there's some, you know, like Dave said, it's got a lot of historic, memories and value to it. And I'm saying in the materials itself. So that's just my suggestion, that get someone to work with the building versus without the building completely. Okay? That's my
Yeah,
suggestion.
and I do have a lot of woodworkers who are interested in getting access to that.
They want the lumber,
They
but
want
they're gonna
the
take it somewhere else.
Correct.
I'm saying, try to utilize it within the
Use
design.
some of that lumber to make a pavilion or
Yeah.
covered
Yeah.
something.
Right, I mean, yeah, it's no permanent bandstand back there, is it?
No.
No, that just comes in when Silver Slipper gives it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, basically, that's an idea. Let's build an outdoor, stand permanently with the material.
Damn right. Why don't you do that right there? Build a bandstand and put more live music and stuff
Yeah.
That
in
that
downtown.
just keeps you up for one weekend a year, come on.
Where Dave lives, he gets to hear it every night.
No, I'm saying it's,
We already hear Front Street,
that's
East
true,
Boulevard. We can hear it all the way from the Ugly Pirate.
but that's 4th of July weekend only, that's the
No,
only
it
time
was
they have.
2 days ago.
In-
2 days.
At the school?
But what Dave is discussing is that the entertainment district
Yes.
is creeping because the way that
Well-
zone commercial is creeping closer and closer into the residential
Well, that wasn't the
areas.
point I was.
That's not our,
That wasn't the point I was making. The point I was making is that there's a crab fest every year at OLG's. No one's ever objected to it. And they bring a stage in every year. If they just had something, even if it's an outdoor theater for the kids to perform on, I'm just making suggestions.
Don't give
You
this man any more ideas. He's already got a bad one already.
Okay, I'm saying
And I'm
repurpose
gonna have to
it,
sit
Dave.
still for that. I understand that it's what's the way of the world here. I don't like it, and I object to tearing down historic buildings in this town, in the historic district. And that being said, I'm a realist too, so, anyway.
all right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and do any further discussion. I'm gonna make the motion that we, as a conceptual review, approve the demolition of that building. The final approval to be given once, and it will be at a full meeting, it will not be via email.
Right.
Once all of the appropriate documentation has been presented to show us what you verbally have told us, Bill. Is there any other, and that we are requesting that you investigate, repurposing, reusing the material from that building on site wherever possible.
I second that motion.
Okay, I made the motion. Have a second by Mr. Bazoo. And this is for conceptual review approval. I'd like to vote the motion. Aye. Dave can say nay.
Aye.
So it's 4-1. Bill, when you can, we're gonna allow the asbestos removal, so that's not gonna hold you up. And we really don't, for a lot of reasons, I'd like to get it done, get it out of there. But then as expeditious as reasonable, get us the rest of the information. We have, the next meeting is in the first part of December. I don't know that between now and then you would have demolition crews sitting on standby, but, that would be, yeah, like I say, this is just a highly visible one, and, I know I will get phone calls about why did y'all approve that? So we like to have all of our documentation be able to say, yes, we looked at that and we looked at this.
December
Alright.
the 8th.
December 8th.
Get the Jeremy.
You can get it to Jeremy, or, Jeremy, he can email it to me directly. Yes, that way we'll have looked at it ahead of time, hopefully. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
third one on the agenda is at 216 North Beach Boulevard, Ms. Benson and Gwen Corbett. You're gonna have to allow me to take care of my notes here. Let me get- Applicant name Sanders. I said, man, this guy looks familiar. No wonder, didn't know. How you doing, Sanders?
Good, how are y'all?
Pretty good. Yes, I'm gonna open for discussion. I'm gonna look at your drawings.
In your backyard, you've got a fence that's all the way across there. You don't access the house
No,
from the back at all, from that.
it's-
Is that a shared thing, or?
Well-
You've got,
that easement was, my parents procured that easement back a long, long time ago.
right,
So that gives us an easement to 218.
so you do have the right.
Yeah, I have the
right. And then you've got a wing of your fence that goes back there and just kind of dies. Your fence goes across, and then there's the wing of your fence, and then the house that's on the corner's got a fence.
It's a mess. You wanna get into this after this?
No, I was just curious, are you gonna incorporate that space back to the back of your wing of your, to come back further?
This,
I'm not objecting to the thing.
no.
think
So
it's
there's,
logical.
I think their survey's right.
Yeah.
If you look at, it's gonna look just like that. To the back of their backyard is what's on the survey.
Right,
Now, all the other stuff, there's like 3 different property corners.
right, yeah, I noticed on it. I don't object to the thing, I
Yeah.
think that's fine.
But there used to be access back there to 216 North Beach, and one of the neighbors closed that access off.
I was just wondering if you were gonna move your fence. or
Do you,
able to move your fence
you had
further
that
back.
survey is larger than
Well, I just
mine.
have, we have this,
You would
Okay, I didn't see that.
approach it, cause this is very difficult to
well, that's the,
decipher.
so that, there's a driveway that comes just like you described,
Right,
right back
This
there.
right.
is the house, 216.
But there's a fence for this property here, this goes here like this to your fence.
So this is the condo, like
Yes.
he's saying.
New owner,
Right.
Corbett.
And then it turns a corner here and it comes to your fence.
Right.
And I was just wondering if you were gonna bring your fence back even with those guys. I mean, I would, if I could, to have more room in your backyard. But anyway,
Where's Beach Boulevard on
Right
this
here.
one?
out here,
Holy smoke.
you got that built,
So
there's
this
a
is
house,
Okay.
condo unit.
Okay.
So there's a little, there's an easement drive right
Right.
here.
there's other buildings here. There's like 3 houses back in
And then
here.
3 different people built fences. so
Back in here
another
in this nether world back here. But here's his house, and he's got his driveway comes right here. And then that big house on the corner, and they're cut off right here. And then you have those, condo buildings here. And this is the edge of their yard, and you go through this easement, and you can see the back of his fence right here. What he's proposing, which is to build inside here, is perfectly, I find acceptable. I just thought maybe you would be able to come over here with your fence and take this space in and actually have a.
That's when you go out your back where your rental is back there, but, and back above his house.
There's a fence back there.
Yeah.
And there's a
Yeah.
couple different
Yeah.
things he's
Yeah, yeah.
saying to
Right,
square it
yeah.
up. But
So this is Beach Boulevard, that's
Right,
that's
this is Beach
that
Boulevard.
house. And,
This is the
and
house.
what do you,
so
what do you,
right now,
that's
there's a
existing?
carport right here.
Okay, you can just barely see it.
And then this whole area is concrete, so they wanna come in and just demo all this whole area out.
Right.
Build a pool,
Mhm.
build a little cabana, and have the stucco match the main house. And then this'll be access to the backyard. They'll have golf cart parking here if they decide to put a golf cart in.
But no more use of your garage.
The garage is gone.
Okay, so that's going away.
Mhm.
Okay, so you're gonna have the driveway in the side of the
And
house.
then they're gonna
that's-
park in the front.
And that's gonna be the end of that.
Right.
No
No
garage.
garage.
Oh, yeah.
So they're really making a nice green space for
Yeah, yeah,
hardscape.
yeah, okay.
whatever you wanna call it.
Okay.
And you cannot see any of this, you can see from the easement, but you cannot see it from the street.
From the front.
So.
But this little building, not necessarily, what is it, is it gonna be a storage building, or
There's gonna be a
the
little
pool
storage,
room,
yeah,
or
and
the?
then a little kitchen, and a little
Okay.
barbecue pit here, and then a bathroom over here.
But you're gonna have that behind the fence.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna, since I don't see it, it probably is in here somewhere, but that the, appearance, what do you even say in here?
Elevation,
New plantings, landscaping, fire pit,
right.
placement of a pool, landscape, see, it doesn't talk, oh, there it is. Construction of a cabana at the rear of the residence, and that the, what's the right word, not the facade, but the appearance, the exterior,
Elevation,
the exterior facade of of this cabana will be to match
the existing
the
house,
existing house.
right,
It's the stucco.
right,
We could take that garage out there, you'll have a lot of room back there.
yeah.
Garage.
And that means, and you say it is stucco?
Yes.
What kind of roofing?
Standing seam metal. Look, they got a parapet wall going across the top. I don't think they wanna deal with
So the roof may not match the house?
It
Is that what
won't.
you're telling me?
It's
Got
gonna be a
terracotta roof,
metal.
Okay. Okay, so it'll be stucco, exterior walls, and standing seam roof.
Yes.
How many square feet is the cabana? About just
22,
I tell you what, if you go, I don't know if y'all walked in the backyard, but if you look at
No.
these drawings and you look how it's laid out in the backyard, it's not as overwhelming as these drawings make it out.
They're not-
I didn't go in the back.
Yeah, the drawing.
But it's all kind of laid out.
Very, very, very good,
You're like, where's all this stuff gonna?
very good detailed drawings, yes.
But it's not overbearing, it really isn't, it all kind of
You
fits.
got plenty of room back there.
Yeah.
Put bushes and all kinds
yeah,
of
you
stuff
got
there.
plenty of screening.
All right, further discussion, questions?
I move we accept it as
I'll second.
proposed.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Dave Wessinger to accept as presented, and have a second by Ms. Pat Keating. Like to vote the motion?
Aye.
Aye. For 5-0, and y'all give me a minute to write my notes.
Thank y'all.
Good, yes, sir. Well, like I say, the drawings are a little overwhelming, you're right, but details are there.
They're there.
And then, like I say, it's probably written in there somewhere, but I'm gonna put a note that the stucco finish on the cabana with, and it'll have a standing seam roof or a metal roof, approved metal roof, that way if they wanna go with a,
Don't put our
5V crimp, 4V crimp.
yeah, but if you're standing seam, that's fine. Yeah, just don't put a
Or
or panel.
I got you.
You familiar what metal we allow?
Mhm.
if you're not gonna hire a stenographer.
I need to, yeah, I normally have some of this already written out. Jeremy says he can't read my handwriting.
Jeremy needs to get AI and translate it.
He needs to get into the medical profession.
He needs to dictate with AI, Jeremy. Teach him. Jeremy, teach him. Teach him, Jeremy. Jeremy's gonna kill
You
me.
can speak into your phone and see if it writes it correctly.
It would, teaching him would be like teaching Jim. It couldn't happen.
You amazed.
All right,
All right, the next one we have is, Mr. Michael Craven at 130 Carroll to relocate an accessory structure and construct a swimming pool.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead, Dave.
What are you gonna do with that building, that little thing you got jacked up on the legs in the backyard?
We just shored it up. We haven't really moved it or done anything with it.
Yeah, I noticed it. You gonna tear that down?
No, we're just moving. Actually.
He's look,
So this application.
I mean, that's what we're asking to do right now.
He's keeping the accessory structure that's there, just moving it, and then adding the pool behind the house.
yeah, if you look at the two
Good.
plans,
Yeah.
But
before
the
and after.
apartments, the two apartments back there, that's just normal residence apartments? Are they short-term rentals?
They're short.
Right. It's got two back there and the house, up and down in the house. We're gonna park. It's gotta be street parking.
Yeah, they got enough parking.
Got enough
On
parking.
the,
On the side. Yeah,
Where those yellow
driveway.
marks, you got
Yeah.
those yellow, what, like 4 spaces?
No, we've made the spaces a little, I was looking at that today, the maintenance guy made the spaces a little wider than they needed to be. We've kind of gone quick with Jeremy. Space park.
But the spaces are all parallel parking.
Yeah, there are a couple in the back. where you can pull over.
Right.
I think they got 8 or 10 on site.
That's the one that has a little sign in front of it?
I didn't see them, but I mean, I was looking along, I walked back in there and looked at it. But you're gonna keep that little building,
It's fun.
and where is that going, exactly?
It's on the plan. It's just gonna go kind of back and turn into Creek.
Yeah,
Move it about
I'm
10 feet.
thinking about where it's sitting, yeah, I can look at the
If you
plan.
would
The
please
part- the
approach
two-
here and so we mark up a drawing. It's
two
not,
units,
not
is it gonna
terribly
go next to
obvious.
the 2 units towards Second Street?
Okay, this is where,
So this
where is
building
what?
is here now, and we're just gonna move it back like that.
So that's the new location for the,
This is existing location
okay,
on that front page, and we're just gonna move it back. Take it,
okay.
this is where it is now.
Okay, so this is existing. See, without that information, it's hard to decipher this.
I mean, if
Yeah,
I put some arrows there, it'd be a little easier to
Yeah.
kind of follow it.
Okay, so this is where you're at existing,
That's right.
and you're gonna be moving it to proposed.
right.
That's right.
And then the swimming pool is gonna go right there.
That's right.
And then, obviously, parking is not,
Parking's
Really-
along here, but it's not gonna adjust. The parking's all along here, and then there are a couple spots.
how did they get there?
This driveway, this is
Oh,
the
okay, wait a
driveway,
minute,
and it's like
where's
parallel.
the street? Which street
The
we on?
street is up there, way up.
Okay, no, that's why I'm confused.
Mhm.
So this is Carroll Avenue. You see why I get a little bit,
Yeah.
open about, we need documentation, I need photographs, I need stuff, because it's one of those things where you know what you're gonna do, but
That's right.
I haven't a clue, and,
Yeah, no, I get it.
okay. Revival Property, BSL 113 LLC, so this is obviously a business. Okay. Jeremy, do they have a half bath already in that little shed?
No, but they're gonna move it just to do the half bath. That's it.
The plan is to put a half
No
bath.
shower, no nothing.
Yeah, no shower, just a.
Okay, that doesn't
So it's
get
a
into
circle
that,
cabana.
No, not a half bath, the door only being from the outside.
okay. We've had people with little structures in the backyard that they try to turn into, living quarters. And that,
If you saw the thing, you would realize that's
It's not
do
gonna,
it.
and they could if you.
yeah, I've seen some living quarters that but the people
You
living
never
in them.
shoot it.
You what?
North
He said he
Stadium.
would go to LSU. I put my son
I
up
lived in the stadium dorm, I
I
lived in the stadium dorm in LSU for 4 years.
Me too, North Stadium,
Yep,
cell block D.
didn't tear anything up, it's all concrete. All right, I think I have a good idea, and all this is basically not even visible.
No, you
Nah.
can't. You gotta walk way back down the driveway and just look in.
Okay. Discussion?
I make a motion that we accept the proposal as.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. John Bazoo, second by Patty Keating.
Accept proposal.
To accept as proposed. Like to vote the motion? Aye.
Aye.
Pass 5-0. Thank you, sir.
All right, thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
Those are, what are you gonna,
Oh, those aren't the,
He said
thought
pass
so.
them out to him.
What?
No, he gave it to you right here,
Those are right there, huh?
the sycamore.
these, I'm sorry.
Sycamore's in the packet. Oh, yeah, it's wrong. Gotcha.
Right.
Okay, I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Oh,
John,
it's-
here,
Oh, it's
here,
just one set.
here, well, I
You
don't know,
didn't-
here,
you
look
didn't
at it,
copy.
you tell me.
It's too big for me to.
I've already reviewed them. I already reviewed them.
Okay, okay. You wanna pass
I
it?
have not seen
Okay.
Dave, have you seen these? I have not, I just got them, so I have not looked at them.
Okay.
Okay, this is, Sycamore Street, 231 Sycamore Street.
It's gotta be you.
Ms. Harrington?
Can I ask a question?
Yes, I'm gonna ask Dave to lead off while I do my notes here.
You're gonna renovate that house?
I would love to.
Okay. Love to and are going to, is two different things. Okay, good.
I'm going to.
Now, I'm not going, adding on, that's fine, if that's what you've got an idea. You can talk to, my main thing is, and you heard what,
Oh, my job's off my
you heard,
chain.
and you heard what I said before about your house, I think at one time, they got a demolition permit for it or something, or was gonna be torn down. But it's been there, so you got the front yard cleaned up, but the fact,
I'm off tomorrow.
yeah, if you are going to renovate that house and make it livable again, you have my support.
Thank you, thank you.
I think I met you about 3 years ago, Ms. Harrington.
You stepped in my house, jumped on the floor and said, God, it's good and sturdy. I said, yes, it is.
The only problem was the back of the house where you're planning to take off.
I would love to, if I cannot I would love to do like you did on Easterbrook Street with the little peach house.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do on the back, so my grandbabies can live with me. But if I can get it back to its original state, I'm good with that.
Mhm.
But the pecan tree from the neighbor's house, that big one, yeah, their pecan tree grew through my roof.
Mhm.
So it was raining in it, so
Yeah.
the back wall by that window is now rotten. But I was advised not to knock it down, that it could be fixed.
Mhm.
I have had several things stolen. I was working with the attorneys at Hancock Bank. Adrian Smith bought all of my stolen. I had my fence, my wire for my screen for the front porch, gone. The hot water tank that they gave us after Katrina, gone. My grandmother's furniture, gone. Tub that was in on the 4-leg, gone. My neighbor talked to him, the big house on that side, asked them, did they know that if I knew that they were taking the stuff, and advised them that I was out of town and she didn't know when I would be back. I said, well, why would they stop? They took everything out of my house. The porcelain sink with the ridges on the side. They took everything. I actually lived in my house after Katrina, but Mississippi Power would not turn my electricity on because I had like 14 inches of water in my house.
Right.
So right now, as we stand, it is good, but yeah.
Well, if you're gonna preserve the house, or the plan is basic, you know, you're gonna need a better set of plans, for sure, to get a permit,
Right.
okay, number one. You wanna add the back, you know, a two-story structure, like a little camelback, like, you said, like I did on Easterbrook.
Yeah,
now you
yeah.
Remember the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna have to have someone to draw the foundation for it, and if you can incorporate some of the existing house in that extra, area.
Yeah.
Like you said, there's that back room, I think.
The front was gonna stay, I'm not,
Yeah, it's pretty solid. I think it's fairly solid. Like I said, I jumped all over the place.
you did.
It's been a long time.
And
but,
it's got the real wood parquet flooring, you know, the front room has the oak boards, but the
Yeah.
rest of the house has the
Yeah.
real wood parquet flooring, and that's a big thing to me, and besides the fact that I grew up in the house.
yeah. Do you have anybody to draw the drawings for you?
Craig said that he knew someone that could do
Good,
that for
okay.
me.
Okay.
And I'm listening to the conversation about the little sheds that people were using for homes. There was actually a house in the backyard. The foundation is still there. My son was over in Afghanistan and he did the little satellite thing. He said, "Mama, the house is gone in the back, huh?" I said, "No, it's still there." He said, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yeah." Well, did not realize that it had a little lean to it from the tile surface. So I'm saying that because eventually one day I might want to put that back.
And if you have a slab there, you could always build something, a shed
Yeah.
back there.
Toilet is still there, all the pump, everything is still,
Well,
except the building itself.
so.
But I had already gone to the bank and talked to them about the funding and everything. I actually had talked to the people at Home Depot when it was over here. They had actually volunteered to give me everything I needed to get back in my house. All I needed was a letter from NPO or either my church. So, but I couldn't get the stuff fast enough for the people to steal it out.
Well, I just suggest that you get someone to draw a plan, existing and what's new. And as far as conceptual wise, we can approve the concept.
Yes,
That's not a problem. Do we need to have a follow-up with the final set of?
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, like we'll have to have a follow-up with.
But also, yeah, I figure conceptually, so she knows this is around baseline, but when she has the plan, have them come back before you.
Yes,
Well,
Yes.
I move that we,
Yeah.
we approve that she has conceptual review to renovate the house as it stands, and when she provides us with the documents of how you want it to be proposed, we'll come back and look at that too, and move that for approval. But with that condition, other than bringing the full set of documents back, I move that she can proceed.
Only thing I remember is that there is an area in that existing that has to go. I think where the bathroom is, there was a section that was.
Where
pretty
he
bad.
leveled the house.
It
yeah.
was
I
pretty
mean,
badly
yeah.
damaged and whatnot. So it's gonna come back in a new realm, but it's gotta be demolished to get to the new.
Right.
It's a very small section of that part.
But the thing is she's gonna have to get a building permit anyway.
That's
They're
right.
gonna inspect, and then whatever rotted wood and stuff, just don't tear the whole thing down,
Just to
something to
step
take down as little as possible.
okay, what I've got here is that we're considering conceptual review with approving the renovation of the house, and that it may require some partial demolition as part of that renovation. And that, once,
Plans would be.
yeah, certificate of appropriateness, that is our official word, will be approved when plans or sufficient plans are submitted. Is that what we're saying? Do you understand what I just said?
Say it again.
That's why I asked. Okay, our approval is officially referred to as a certificate of appropriateness, meaning saying that, yes, you meet the appropriate things for the historic district. We would issue that, which is the one that says, yeah, you can go ahead and do on it, once we see some actual plans, you know.
Okay.
Is that?
That's good. original house
Mhm.
really is not changing at all.
Not at all.
Because where I'm saying that area's fallen down was an addition somewhere between 18 Umpty Ump and now.
Mm.
They must have had that bathroom back there or something. That usually the case, these older homes that have been built back then, they're still standing, they're still solid.
Mhm.
And
Where was the
everything else that's
bathroom
newer
in
than that.
Where was the bathroom in
Yeah.
the house? Is it the back?
Huh?
The bathroom originally was in the back of
The-
the
the-
house?
I'm just.
Right,
my
it's at the
memory.
Yeah,
back.
so that was like an add-on.
Mhm.
Yeah, and they
Anyway.
usually tip, the first things that go are the add-ons.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah, and she
really
added on so that I could have a bed. I don't know why I was afraid of the dog. I was still sleeping.
Let me just ask this. Have you received a letter from the city declaring it a problem that they're asking you to do something with the house? i.e.
No,
demolish it?
I have spoken to Mr. Vince, and he's
Okay.
the one that,
Yes.
tells me, Miss Ann, you gotta do the yard. And, he was telling me that it was being considered, that they wanted him to bring it before the city council to knock it down. I told him, you can't knock it down. That's all I, So, he spoke to, this was you, Mr.
Yeah, no,
Garrett?
so this is what we said. They were about to start, the yard needs to be cleaned, but at a certain point, I think structurally, it's conceivable that more than 50%, like, it's considered definition of blight.
Mhm.
So her going before here and starting this process, but it can't just be approved and say, hey, I got plans getting drawn up for it. Like, it needs to proceed that conceptual. Now go find a draft person to draw the plans, get it approved, contractor in there, and actually do the work.
Mm-hmm.
Because the last thing we want to do is tear down private property, but, it's not necessarily fair to the rest of the neighborhood and the health, safety, and well-being of the neighborhood.
Okay, well, the reason I ask is I know they do that. That's a long process. The city really, they dislike doing it. I can tell you that, but I would not have been surprised had you talked to Vince, you've talked to Tim, and you've got things proceeding.
Mhm.
And you said something about Craig's gonna make some drawings, or knows somebody knows.
Craig Tingle.
Craig?
How you know Craig?
And I come here, he was Catholic, I was Baptist, but we all in the
Well, that's
same
okay.
neighborhood.
I mean,
Okay, let's go.
We go to camp backyard. Matter of fact, I was over there yesterday. Got camp,
I know.
yeah,
You didn't see me out there?
no,
Oh, okay. I'll see you there later on then.
wait,
I bought Jerry Heisman's old house.
okay.
Cat a corner from the backyard.
Okay, I think I saw you a few weeks or so ago, you were
Oh,
bringing
yeah,
some
either in the-
stuff to the back.
Either go back there on the tractor or the golf
Yeah.
cart or something.
Yeah.
I was looking for Craig yesterday, that's why.
Oh.
Anyway, all right, that's why I thought you might have been talking about. Yeah. Okay, all right, so what I have not got a motion yet, so I'll go ahead and make this motion that we're gonna, conceptual review approval of the renovation of the house. The renovation of the house may require some partial demolition as part of the renovation, and a certificate of appropriateness will be issued when the actual plans are submitted and reviewed. Reviewed and approved. Okay, I'm making that motion.
I second.
I have a second by Mr. John Bazoo. Like to vote the motion for conceptual approval, conceptual review? Aye. Aye, okay. All right, Miss Annie, yes, when you can get something that shows something along the lines of what you would need to get a building permit. You get at least the exterior portion. We don't necessarily need all the details of the interior. What it's gonna look like from the street and what type of roof, what kind of siding, and what kind of windows. That's the stuff we'll need. And then we can let y'all start moving ahead. And yes, we'd very much like to see it preserved, because that is one of the classic ones, like John just rebuilt one on Washington Street that, it was in worse shape than yours, I can tell you that, so. All right. All right, so we have approved, we got, did we vote the motion?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought we did. 5-0. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for wanting to keep the house.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I've got a 312 to Moslin.
Yeah.
So it would be a,
Yeah, what I've got is from Mr. John Robin. I assume that's you, 312.
it'd be a motion to approve a 20 by 10 garage for parking
Not
with,
20 by 10,
20 by 26
20,
garage.
22 by 26.
Yeah, I got it written down 22, build a 22 wide by 26 deep garage for parking,
I have a plot plan,
please.
and I have both sides is kind of sketched out. Okay.
312 to Moslin, didn't,
It goes from.
We did a lot of work out here. We did the house and everything.
I was gonna say, because didn't we do, you had a little driveway, and walk underneath it and all that, that's within the last year?
Yes, we demoed all of that and put the driveway in, and we done a lot of work out here.
Okay.
I spent a lot of money so far.
Yeah,
Anyways, this is the Motley's in here.
okay,
It's a state. This is an existing building that eventually I'm going to, before the council next week, want to make Airbnb there.
okay,
This is the new garage I want to put in right here.
okay.
Between the house and the existing building. This is all, my driveway goes all the way through.
Yeah.
Parking, I parking here, all this is, everything's parking.
This
Yeah,
goes all the
I've
way through the State Street?
It does.
Yeah, you go, well, I've been looking at this for a long time.
It looks nice. huh?
Yeah, yeah, they're doing a good job. I've watched them, I don't go to, up in the, I see it from the front, but you can't see it much from the front. You can, but from the back, from State Street, you can look through here, and I've been watching them do the construct. Yeah, a garage in there, that's great.
Yeah. What I do is I
Of
come
course, you
in.
could put a swimming pool in there.
No, no. I had a pool in my last house, I don't want no pool.
You talk about,
But this is right on State Street right here, and all this little house, and they've been working on this. And you won't, once he gets a
The fence is
driveway
up.
fence,
This fence is up now.
you won't be able to see this at all from the street.
okay.
Maybe through here a little bit, but not.
What
not
kind
all.
of roof, what kind of siding?
I'm gonna match the house. It's got board and batt, and the roof is low profile metal.
Okay.
And I did make a little drawing of kinda, now look, this garage is gonna attach to the house,
Okay,
okay? This house is made like this. This roof goes like this, and then this roof goes like this.
It gets into it.
Right. I wanna take this roof and continue all the way out.
you're
So this
have
is
it
gonna be a
covered.
breezeway,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna stop it at the 26, well, I got 22 foot here.
You gonna hip it or gable it at the back?
It's gonna be a gable on the back.
Are the ends of the house gable?
In the back, it's hip, and in the front, it's gable. Like the front,
Right,
the roof is
right.
this way,
Yeah,
and it's
Okay.
gable and gable. And
Right.
then the roof turns and goes this way,
right.
and it's gable on the back.
So, but you're gonna hip this roof into the
That's
main
oddball.
house
It's not gonna,
and then go,
it's not gonna hip in, I'm gonna come from the gable, and just continue on, and then put the gable here. Right.
oh, okay, all right, yeah.
And this is 10 feet
Mm-hmm.
here, so it's gonna be a 10-foot breezeway,
Mm-hmm.
and then the roof, then the 22-foot shed.
He's got plenty of room.
Oh, I got plenty.
Scale wise, he's got plenty.
There's plenty of room back there.
Okay, without having looked at, I'm sorry, but you've somewhat confused me with the roof ridges and gables and hips.
Okay, if I could draw an isometric, I would. Can I see your pen?
Yeah, I can give you, here, let me get you a scrap piece of paper.
I can write right here.
You gonna move in there? You gonna live in there?
I'm living in there now.
You live there?
Yes, sir.
Right.
It don't take much to live. I lived in a boat for 5 years.
Man, that's been a press.
This is
living in
the
that life
house
and all
roof,
that
like,
work.
and I don't do it right.
Okay, so that's
the house roof like that.
the hip
Okay,
roof on
that's
the
right.
house.
Then it comes off this way, and it's gable here. Down to here, right?
Okay.
And then this is flat right here.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say,
Yeah,
something
this is
didn't
flat
add,
out here.
something that didn't add up.
I wanna take this gable and move it back here. I wanna just extend this out.
Okay, now that
Like
makes sense.
that.
So that's
And now
26
gable.
foot?
Well, it's gonna be 22 foot plus the 10. Yeah, this
But I mean, you gotta go
Yeah.
26 foot that
Yeah.
way.
26 foot that way, yes.
Okay. Is that
Over
gonna
the
be,
top of that whole thing.
The whole,
you got 26 foot here?
well, this is probably gonna be maybe 3 feet past.
So you're gonna have to modify the roof.
It's gonna
At
stay
some
the
point.
same angle. It's just gonna go 3 feet
He's kinda
past.
gotta has it past this anyway. That's what you're doing.
So it's offset a little bit.
It
Yeah.
is offset a little bit.
Okay,
But the angle of the roof's gonna stay the
yeah,
same.
okay.
It's just, this is gonna be on the slabs, and my house is on, it's raised.
Okay, so you got the elevation difference
I
to
got
take,
the
okay,
elevation,
all
on
right,
the elevation.
thank you, sir.
And
That,
this is coming up in the future. I don't know if y'all gonna have a problem with that. It's an existing building,
Interior?
interior.
Are you gonna,
Are you
you're
gonna
not gonna
make it
change the exterior of the building
No,
much? You
No,
just-
just like that. I already have it, the roof,
the roof,
existing,
the
everything's
windows,
existing.
doors, all that's where it needs to be?
everything's where it needs to
So all
be.
you're gonna be doing is the interior side,
The interior.
and,
And I
uh,
painted it already to match
is
the
it,
house.
is it existing living quarters?
No, it's open right now. I mean, all
Okay,
the plumbing and everything's there, but.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that,
no, it is.
okay, okay,
But
good,
It's a little house that was facing.
It,
State
yeah,
Street.
it's a little
That's
house.
all what it is.
okay.
He's just one of these lucky guys that's got the street to street.
Oh, you're not lying.
I know, I blame you.
Particularly on them.
But I tell you, I got like 600,000 in this house.
Oh, I
already.
imagine.
I'm telling you, it don't take long.
Nope.
Well, it does. It's
All right.
expanded.
This is, yeah, right. But I love my house. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Okay, you got a garage door.
This is what I got right here. I drew this.
Now, this garage door is not gonna be visible from the street.
It's
We typically require the carriage style
right, he
garage.
told me. And I'm
Okay.
gonna put all of that. I'm
Okay,
gonna
that,
put the hinges and the handles and the windows.
make it look nice.
That's right. Go look at my house. You're gonna.
Okay, I was tickled to death when I saw
We
it.
did this for you.
Right?
This,
It doesn't prove
you know,
our
when you
property
redid
value,
that, and
your
you had the
property value.
side where I think you had the drive-through underneath and all
right.
that. That's, I said, man, I looked at this one before, looked at a lot of them, so I don't remember them all.
Well,
But okay,
you'll
yeah.
appreciate it.
Okay, well, yeah, then you got,
But this is one of the ones that, when I'm walking, because I walk around here all the time, I stand on State Street and watch, I've been watching those guys. I don't know if they're your relatives or not, those boys that work there.
That's me.
No, no,
Me and
that's,
my brother,
yeah,
and then I had some friends that helped me.
yeah. Well, the friends that help you,
Yeah.
they're motivated by Peter.
Oh, yeah.
Or something, they're not motivated by money. You know, like, me.
but,
Hey, you've been doing, you've been like an ant on ant hill, you know, just kind of getting it done.
Well, I'm very fortunate. I don't have to go to work, so I can work on my house full time.
Right, right.
That's good. You retired?
Said this is presented.
I own a plumbing company.
oh, okay.
In Gretna.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm a contractor and do sewage treatment plants and backwater valves. I do it all. Am I retired? Yeah, kinda.
You still got a business to
I
run.
still have a business.
Yeah, you ain't retired.
Well, I've been fortunate. I do have a.
You done good.
It's on Palfrey Street in Gretna. It's across the expressway from the Home Depot. If you get off that stump, you know the stump ramp, if you get off that stump, as you're coming down the ramp, there's a tire store right there to your right. It used to be a Goodyear. I'm right behind that tire store.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Mr. John, we got any additional
I'm good.
conversations, discussions? So, now, does Jeremy have, or can you get him something along these lines to attach? So that we have the documentation? Oh, okay, well, that's even better. That way we have the documentation of what no, I don't have, this is all I got, man.
No, he's got this in his computer, but you can have it.
Thank you.
You can take
Yeah, I
this.
like to have documentation on what it is that we approved.
Jeremy says it's a gift. Here's a, take a gift. It's a gift. Here, take it.
Okay, all right. I need a motion.
No discussion.
No discussion.
I
Both
make
of
a
us?
motion that we accepted this.
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion by Dave and a second by Matt to accept as presented. Like to vote the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Thank you, John.
Now that I know you, I'm gonna stop in there and look what you're doing.
Come on, man, I want you to see the inside. Come check out the whole thing. All right, see y'all later.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's fine. I said next week? Oh, next month. All right, thank you.
Yeah, no, we don't have no meeting minutes to approve right now.
I move that we adjourn.
I second it.
Okay, I have a motion.
Fourth, fifth.
Okay, well, let's just, we have a motion by Matt and a second by Dave to adjourn. And
You would
vote.
appropriately, may I tell you, aye.